A little bit of action off the wall. Nine
So
again.
puts him at 120. So, we said the number for him was 269. He's still
He's not
39 pins shy of that by box. So he's got a ways to go. Dove with a 9 drop. Dove is 3 boxes behind John, and all are open. So he does have some room here to make up some space, some pins quickly. And he fouled and missed. So
yeah, you don't see that. You don't see that often.
he was
think the
completely.
foul was
well,
was
he
a
was.
symptom of
I
the-
believe he was not going to foul if that ball was at the pin.
Yeah.
So looks like Don's going to have to really go to catch Jesse at this point. Don's got needs a huge game in order to catch Jesse on that one.
Yeah, we got a camera pointing over at Mark Anastasi and Stacy Kelly, the pair that they're bowling on. Mark has 37 in the fourth plus. He's working on a strike. Looks like he's had a shaky start to this game, but still early. And then Stacy has 27 plus in the third. He's working on a spare. Mark Anastasi 1477 and Stacy Kelly 1466 through 10 games. Again, the math is easy on that. 147.7 and 146.6 average. Yep, Stacy Kelly still out front with some room in the B division. I mean, he's come back. He's come down just a little bit in average, but he's still got six pins worth of average to hang
With only
on to.
with only 2 games to go. Well, less than 2 games to go.
Yeah, Stacy's actually a past winner of the B division. This should be a great outcome for him again to win that. Oh wow!
Throws the ball like that a couple more times, he'll be all right.
Yep, what a ball! That's on a spare. I mean,
10 load. It's big.
Yep. Don Dove on lane 1. Oh wow! This is a rough stretch of frames here for Don. I don't think he's really done anything wrong. I mean, just either through the middle or left a split. And wow, what an attempt that was!
Wow, almost stolen there.
Yep.
See Matt Anastasi right there ripping through the middle. Looks like he left the 3-7.
Don with a 10.
Dove covers 10. Just at this point, Don is starting to look at a mountain in front of him for that last game.
There's something to say about the simplicity of Matt Anastasi's game. Really doesn't take a lot of time before he goes. 3-step approach. I mean, maybe he shuffles a little bit before he goes, but very simple, very straight. Both those brothers have a great game. I think we just. No, I don't know if it was in the angle, but I did just see the defending champion, Dan Richmond, throw a monster strike. Heard from Dan at the end of the last shift as Jesse and Kyle were wrapping their sets up. Looking like he's pretty officially going to be passing the crown on to somebody else. Who it is, we don't know yet, but he held it. He held it well. Represented the tournament, the game well for the year that he had it. It was quite a performance last year, down to the very last frame or two.
You'll see John D'Antonis come into our screen here to finish up his 11th game, and he needs.
Yeah, I think a mark
would be
going to make
certainly
him feel a lot better.
helpful going into the next game.
269. 269 is what he needs for 2, and a 130 is not half of 269.
No, it's not. And chopping off the side is not getting him any closer to it. So, as we've seen throughout today and prior tournaments, it always seems to come down to that last frame, last box, last game.
Yeah, and
It's a 7.
John.
So.
It's heavy on the head pin there, and he may be in the 120s here. Yep,
129. So he needs a 140 to take over the lead in the clubhouse by my count. So we'll check that math. But
yeah, we'll get that exactly right and track that number frame by frame. I mean, I guess John.
So the 140 is the number for D'Antonis
140. Yep.
to take the lead in the clubhouse.
Wow. So
And it's a late clubhouse.
yeah, I mean, what a turn of events here. I mean, I think this kind of the same thing happened this morning, right? I mean, you had Jesse out of the gate really strong. John, same thing here. I mean, 460 for his first 3, and then he's kind of struggled to put together some scores.
Jesus, Dove with a just.
I am
Hey,
shocked.
what?
I mean, we've seen ball after ball here for.
We're not going to
Don.
convince people that lanes 1 and 2 are the best lanes in this house after watching some of this.
No. I think Don is challenging that theory.
There are a few bowlers here today that might argue against it right now. So Don's going to need a mark to get to 30.
Yep. Wow. I mean,
and if, again, using the mathematical analogy here, if D'Antonis needs a 140, then Dove's going to need over 200, well over 200 to get to 1818.
well, I got to say, I don't think Jim was off at all in his prediction that Don was going to throw an excellent game. I mean, he's thrown
threw an excellent ball.
Yeah, I mean,
He threw an excellent ball.
ball after ball has
It was
been
not rewarded.
right in there, and just score sheet's not lining up with that, unfortunately, and that happens, sometimes. But
See the results of Will Rigney's first ball there in front of you. You dropped 9 again. There's Will converting another single. Another bowler that may not be in the top of the leaderboard, but he wasn't far from it. I'll tell you that.
no, I mean, like I said earlier, he just 155 game, and he leaps over. Probably gets himself up into 6th place or so. 5th, 6th place by average. He really is close.
Jeez. Brian Stiles completely blocking the view of that strike.
I can only imagine it was an explosion. I mean, it was Brian after all.
You're going to see the last box of Don Dove's 11th game, so he can throw a double or triple here and make the next game less daunting, I guess. The 6 opens here did not help.
Wow. He almost left himself
I
another
know.
split there.
It didn't look promising for a second.
I'm really surprised. Honestly, that pair, the way that Don is throwing the ball. I think the speed that he is throwing the ball, that's as well, I think, as you
It's
can throw
perfect.
the ball
It's
over there.
perfect. It's perfect, and just hasn't resulted in good. Just hasn't produced good results.
I don't know.
It's
Maybe
weird.
we're just in some parallel universe where 1 and 2 are not, a scoring pair or fast pair. It's been tough. I mean, Don doing everything he can. He's going to put a fill on that mark, and I think your math is right, Pat. He's going to need something in the 200s. Yeah,
And even that ball, he's got to stay on this pair now. That's. And you would think at lane 1 and 2. You look at your draw when you pick your lanes at the beginning of this tournament. When you pick 3 or 4, you immediately know what that means.
yeah,
It means you're going to finish on 1 and 2.
yep, and that's where you want to be. I mean, maybe for everybody except Don Dove. I mean, there's one game. Game.
Right. I mean,
left,
we're
he could
talking
prove
about
that.
a 131 as being but he had 6 opens.
Yeah.
And not all entirely his fault.
No, not at all. I mean, look, he's throwing the ball really well. He didn't give an inch, even though he wasn't getting any breaks. He stayed on top of it. 205. And Don Dove, passes Jesse Deach.
So we're looking at Don Dove in need of a 205 and John D'Antonis in need of a 140 to bypass our current clubhouse leader, Jesse Deach.
All right, and the last game is our favorite game for a lot of reasons. One of them being the cameras don't have to move. I mean, that is unless there's a new bowler to try and get into the angle. There's updating Mark Anastasio over on 17 and 18. Currently throwing the ball on lane 18.
Seen a lot of Will Rigney making marks. I just don't know if he put them all together to actually put together a game that would move him into contention or not.
Mark just put 9 on a spare. He's 25 over the frame in the 6th, and
just checking the
got himself another spare there.
Just on the alternate screen over here, if Mr. Cork's numbers are right, Will Rigney needs a 218.
Okay, I mean,
so
that's.
We're not talking about a 268 or 278. We're talking about a 218.
Right. I mean, 216 was thrown on the first weekend of this tournament. Let's not forget that. It's going to take.
Somebody else I know went over 200.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a couple 200s, and it's not impossible here, but it's obviously going to take some well thrown balls and then probably some luck too. D'Antonis opens his 12th and final game with a spare in this all-important ball.
Well, every spare he gets this game, he just wants to load big, and 10's a good load.
And he knows how important that was. When one ball, you put 10 on the mark and set yourself up with another one. Huge ball. Look at this one, buried right in the 1-2 pocket. He, right upon his release, was kind of celebrating. And there's the fist pump. Those are the ones that feel really good. You need them. And
he was all over that.
Getting an angle here of.
Stacy just loaded up a spare strike.
Yeah, Stacy Kelly.
This is only his 10th game, right? No, this is 11th. I'm sorry, it's his 11th game.
He and Mark Anastasi both trying to, stake their claim here. I mean, on the leaderboard, there's positions to be gained, and 95 plus for Mark Anastasi in the 7th, and then
it's like 83 plus, 93 plus.
93 plus for
Yep. And Stacy's one of those bowlers who predominantly throw strikes, so he's not out of the realm of a 200 game.
Another name to throw in there into the mix, bowling on the same pair is Will Rigney. He's at an even 1,600 with a game to go, so 218.
Right, we had just
So
yep,
keeping an eye on
218.
him.
Yep,
Just when you think it's coming into focus, it gets blurry.
a little blurry.
Here's Don for the 8th time I've made that mistake. All right, that's the first time I've seen Don off the head pin, but a rare spare leave.
Yeah, he's probably like, wow, that's what you got to do? Really?
And that's okay. I mean, a great game doesn't have to start with a strike or spare, but it'd be nice to get off on the right foot here. Tricky little split there. You got to be on the left or on the right of it, but not dead center. That's 10.
And Don absolutely knows what he needs, and sure he's a little frustrated at the results he's been getting on that lane.
Yeah, we got the standings updated through 11 games for a few of our bowlers, and Mark Anastasi is currently placed 4th after 10 games, and he's plus 25 on his frame, but filling a mark. Working very hard to hang on to a position in the top 5. He's currently placed above the leader from the first weekend, Kevin Martin. There he is now. Light in the 1-2 pocket. 6 fill, 101. That's 31 over the frame, and this is a spare break. A little tricky to navigate, but for that reason, yeah, there's still a number of ways to miss it. He's light on that 3-pin and
Can't carry the 4. Can't carry the 5.
John D'Antonis, we just got back over to him in time. That's the ball. First ball after a strike here. And
huge load.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of, it's like the pressure relief valve going off.
If you can load him up.
When you're loading those marks,
Yep.
he needs.
It's down to like 3 marks now.
140, and he's already got 19 of the. Oh, wow. And he lost that one. Missed it by a pretty wide mark, but that's all right. He's giving himself a little bit. Still off to a good start. Yeah, I mean, there's probably have lots of moments like this where you're throwing consecutive frames, and there's something you're trying to go after and a number you're trying to get to, and the tension builds every single ball. I mean, this is the Eastern Classic, right? I mean, you want to talk about tension, it just doesn't get any higher than this with every ball. John is working really hard.
And off camera, Stacy just doubled.
Wow.
So that's a big spot.
Yeah, we got over just in time to see the mess he left behind there. That's a very well timed head pin hit. Double. Stacy acknowledging the staff in the booth here as he walked by.
Even though we didn't see it on camera, it was sloppy.
It was a bit sloppy.
Very sloppy.
It was heavy in there. It was heavy in there.
A working ball.
But in there, in the pocket. Speaking of in the pocket.
And Dove buried it. And again, that's at this point for him, it's got to be a strike. I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's the only way he's getting to 200 at this point.
Yeah, and you're probably trying not to worry about that when you put a ball in the head pin and don't get it. I mean, at that point, you just have to absolutely make the single and then work on the strikes later. I mean, he's not getting to 200 without a double or a triple now.
So John D'Antona stepping up onto his lane 6, fourth box of his final game. Coming off a missed single. Light at the end of the tunnel, though. He's got the vision of what he needs right directly in front of him.
That's a good-looking ball.
And he doesn't pay the penalty, but at least he doesn't get the split. 8-10 was there for a little bit.
Yeah, he's really working that first ball. It's almost the exact same spot he put the last ball on lane 6, right tight in that 1-2 pocket. Just a little heavy.
That was really good ball.
Gets the break. Here he is for the spare.
He's dead on that one. So he's in a position right now. He's got 6 boxes to go. If he marks in half of them, he's going to get there. But you got to load him, and he's been doing that very well. Dove on the bomb.
Okay, Don.
There it is. Finally, that ball's got to take down 10 eventually.
Yeah. You could tell after he threw the ball that he really was expecting it to go.
Stacy Kelly's going to be up on a double here over on
the
lane.
Replay. Look at this one. Yeah, right
beautiful ball.
5-9 being the last to just fall over in defeat.
It's a huge 9th box here for Stacy Kelly. He's got a double up in the 7th and 8th.
Yes.
Chance to triple in the 9th and set himself up for a big game here in Game 11.
Yeah, Stacy's really cool about all this. He's bowling really well, and to some extent you probably wouldn't notice it.
He's very, very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I know for sure he's happy with his performance and just not really made that nervous or anything about it. Oh.
He rips off 4 there, cuts across the face of the head pin, takes out 4. He's going to try to connect these all together. He's still got a chance to make another load out of this if he can connect the dots.
Yep, and cover and set up another mark here, maybe. Oh, he shot it really well.
Nice pitch. 9 load.
It's unfortunate. Good fill, but, you put it there to just kind of take the 1-3-6 straight down the line and not carry the
makes 10.
the 9
so
pin behind it. It's
at 126.
136 in the
136 in the 9th, so chance to get into the 50s.
Yep.
He's at 1466. That would put him over 1600.
Yeah.
So that would be another bowler with a 200 game in the mix.
Right. I mean, if you were watching this ticker go across the bottom of your screen, I mean, there are 6 or 7 bowlers within a pin or 2 in average.
See Will Rigney there trying to convert a very unusual spare leave. I'm not sure how he left that, but interesting leave. Makes 10 out of that.
Yeah, Will has 73 in the 5th.
That's not going to get him to 218 quick enough.
No, that's just about out of reach. But
well, the most he can get to is 223. So
right. Waiting patiently here for John D'Antonis. First ball here for John. Really, really critical. He needs as many pins as he can get. Try to take another big bite out of that 40 pin differential over the frame. Positive 40 pins. He needs to get
from behind the shadow and eclipse of Will Rigney, Don threw a 7 drop.
Yep, I got a little lucky with that 8 pin falling out of the back. This is now a lot more makeable than it is when that pin is standing. And another mark would be
Well, huge.
very welcome.
Yeah, huge.
Mark Anastasi, this is the 10th frame of his 11 game.
And a solid 7-8.
Oh,
and
wow.
D'Antonis with a huge make of a split there.
Good comeback ball after being off a little on that first one. And
it's a must strike almost for Don Dove almost.
did
right
you
now.
hear a little bit more of the pressure?
Yeah, he was definitely excited for that one. And that one cut through the middle.
Yeah, that one. He's filling a strike there. That one really would have been nice to have in the pocket and to be a strike. Mark Anastasi here, unfortunately, going to have to settle for something in the 120s, 128. Don gets 9. And that gives him a 56 in the 4th. Noticing on another camera here, a little comforting being offered to John D'Antonis by one Will Rigney. A little bit of maybe a back rub.
Shot there by Dan LaCroix over on lane 1.
John throws a strike here. I think I'm going to start asking Will for back rubs. But
well, he's plus 26. Strike would give him plus 36 and a hit. He could cruise out from there.
yeah, I mean I would almost put it in the bank. Oh, and he threw a good
Great
one.
ball. He knows it. You can see in his body. He knows right now. He knows.
Thinking exactly what you were thinking. There's a nice replay of this one. He can't throw a ball better than this when you just need a strike, you need a ball in the pocket, you need as many pins as you can get. That one was right where it needed to be.
And he covers it, so
he got it.
One more big fill, and he doesn't need it to mark.
Yeah, you can sense the relief on that one.
Over off camera, Stacy just ripped through the middle for a 5. We got Dove here. Needs to string them all right now. He has no room for.
And he gets a lot of action off the wall. 3-pin.
I think it's a 9. I'm not sure. Could be the 3. The 9 might have fallen first. Stacy's going to finish in the 40s.
Don covers the 3-pin or the 9, whichever it was. And Stacy
had a 45, which I believe puts him at 16-13. Sorry, 16-11.
16-11, yep.
So that puts him at a 207, but that's Jesse. That's not John D'Antonis, who now looks to be ahead of the pace that we have set for him at the 140.
So, yep, he's plus 35. A fill of 5 gets him to plus 40.
Right?
And then he would need to 10 out from there.
So essentially, if he throws another mark, he's definitely going to take the lead.
Nice ball from Steve Mollicone there. Keep catching him every now and then, throwing a ball in the pocket.
I think he's had a fairly good tournament. I know he's got a newborn baby.
Yeah, Hunter.
You saw him up at the booth
him.
yesterday.
Allison, Will Rigney crossing over into that 1-2 pocket.
I don't know if that was a double for Rigney or not. I know he'd thrown one earlier. He was 73 in the 5th, though, so he was in need of all strikes.
John D'Antonis picks up what might be the most important ball of his tournament, maybe the decisive ball of his tournament. Maybe the go-ahead ball is the most appropriate term. 5 or more sets him ahead of the pace. This would be John D'Antonis' first win of the Eastern Classic, the longest continuously run tournament in all of duckpin bowling. In my mind, among the most prestigious of all events, it could be the very most. There's an argument to be made for a few others, but when you run a tournament for 88 consecutive years,
something to be said for that.
There's a lot of history that you put yourself, you find a place in when you win this thing, and this too is one of the only things that John D'Antonis has not done in his career. A former bowler of the year, #1 average in the country, Pro Tour wins. I'm not sure if he's got 2. I know he's got 1. But this would be, you could call it a career with a win here. And there's the ball.
Makes this spare. It's just basically seal the deal for
he already would need, a pretty bad frame and what's left in the game. But you're right. I mean, if he covers that 5-pin, call it a tournament. And he is all over it.
Yeah, he's not missing anything right now.
Look at this game. Finishing very, very strong. Don Dove still playing for something here. I mean, 140, the first place is going to be out of reach here no matter what. Second place is almost out of reach. Almost out of reach. He's gonna need consecutive strikes, 5 of them to get to Jesse Deach. But he's got a shot at third. Maybe fourth. He's currently sitting in the 5th position. Here's Mark Anastasi. That's the beginning of his 12th and final game. That's a strike. Mark's got 16.05.
So if he were to throw a 300 game, that would put him in the lead.
Indeed. We'll keep an eye out for that. Mark and Matt, brothers, both currently sitting in the 9th and 10th position, average-wise, through 11 games. 145.9 for Mark and 145.5 for Matt. There's Don on the, off the head.
Yeah,
that's
can't blame anything but the ball on that one. That was just off the side. D'Antonis to just wrap it up. You take the 7-8 there.
Yeah, off camera, John leaves the 7-8. Yeah, we're doing our research off to the side and confirmed it's 1 Pro Tour win for John D'Antonis. And I'm sure he's got many seconds and thirds.
Happened to be in Connecticut.
And an 8 fill on that spare, though a split and not going to, didn't convert.
So I'll take my chances and say that John can get 9 pins in the next 2 boxes. I'll just take a shot.
That's a safe bet, Pat. So Pro Tour win, bowler of the year, high average in the country. This is the only thing left to accomplish, and it is his championship.
Well, unless somebody like Mark or Stacy goes absolutely haywire.
Yeah. Stacy
out of the gate with a spare.
Yep.
So again, to get to This is 16. Stacy's at 16-11.
Yeah,
so
Stacy's been
207.
really solid today. I mean, slow starting in the games in the early going tonight, but just hanging in there. 140, 140, 140. Yeah, Stacy would have to fumble pretty bad here in this last game to give up the first position in the B division. But there's more for him to play for out there. He's still he could go by Kevin Martin. He might even be able to keep up with Don. In fact, he's only a tenth of a pin in average behind Don Dove. There's Don shooting what looks like the 2-pin. Square in the face. Wow, we didn't have the camera on him, but I just watched Will Rigney bury him all in the 1-3 pocket. Something you just assuming is going to be 10 in the pit, and he left a 7-10 solid.
Heard a couple of chuckles from his compadres down there too.
Yeah,
Probably wouldn't have been as funny if he was contending, but
yeah. Well, he got the 10.
let's see. Stacy's going to be up over here on lane 18 trying to fill a spare. He's technically not out of it yet. Yeah, Stacy backed this strike up with a spare.
Oh,
Stacy chops off 2, so that's not the start he's looking for.
yeah. This is the first time I've seen a tiny, tiny little bit of emotion out of him. I think he found that chop to be a little frustrating. But all I noticed was a tight grip on the ball when he picked it up. He's really kept a really cool demeanor about good bowling, bad bowling, all of it. He's done a lot more good bowling than he has bad this weekend.
He's got a chance really to lock up the B division early in this game. Currently sitting in 6th place in the Open.
Yeah, I mean Stacy's got the division pretty much locked up. I mean, it's 7. He needs to get over 71. 71 to. Division B is handicapped. Okay, so pardon me. There's no. Forgive me. We're wrong about that. That's
Jim was wrong.
no, it's not a handicapped division. Just the division.
No,
for
the only
average bowlers.
The only thing that's handicapped is the optional pool.
Right. There's an optional pool that is handicapped. Pardon us. We're going to get this all straight. There's an optional pool that is handicapped. Nothing else in this tournament is handicapped.
D'Antonis seals the deal.
He just passed the number, so it's official.
So now it's a matter of how high does he go. Got a possible 191 game still. That would put him 51 over.
Yeah, a little. Look at that. Celebrate. He is a happy man. Look at that guy. I think that John has been making the pilgrimage up to Lucky Strike lanes here for a long time.
Yes, indeed. Wearing his Sunday orange.
It's got to be very satisfying to finally claim one of these victories as his own. Meanwhile, there's Don, who also has come up here many times and continues to, search for a victory, and he's very close to it this year. probably been close to it many times before, but
Ooh.
he's going to have to come back again next year and give it a try.
Anastasi just almost dropped another strike on that. He's 39 through 2. Covers another one.
Yep, Mark still looking really sharp. 12 games in.
He's at 16:02. So Anastasi is within a solid 200 of making a run at Deach, but you got John D'Antonis now is probably going to go 20 pins past that.
Yeah, the pressure's off here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see John bury another one in the pocket and add to that lead. Really he's got room to have a pretty remarkable score. And Don.
Yeah, Don will not be a fan of 1 and 2, at least for today.
I think he's going to have a pretty sour taste in his mouth from what's going on in that pair for him. Well, he's still going to be, he's still 27, 28 pins up on the, oh, that's the 2. That's the 2 I shoot usually. John D'Antonis adding to it.
Double up.
He pulled on that one a little bit, but that's just fine. Oh,
You got a little bit of a break on that. Might have been a double.
Yeah. Wow. A little bit of luck. I think he really would have appreciated having that earlier. To take a little bit of the pressure off. But look at this break.
That's his first one.
Pin, there's a pin spinning back there.
Yeah.
Hits the 3 pin and then spins and rolls off of it. That is what they call a backdoor double. I promise John did not throw many of those this weekend. He did not get to where he is by throwing.
Definitely did not.
Backdoor doubles. He got
threw
there
a couple
by
of those
doing
though.
that.
There's a 190 looking at him now. 9 load gets him to 90.
Triple. Look at that instant replay. That one was a beauty, huh? 1-3 pocket, just jammed it right in there.
There was
I'm gonna make sure we get a really good shot of John coming
took your
off the line
Dramamine there.
Here it is, last ball.
Needs 9 to get to 190, and I think 10 will
wow.
get him to 191.
Man, 10 right off the plate. Congratulations, John D'Antonis. What a day. I mean, we can't say it's quite over yet, but it's pretty much over. There's almost a mathematical impossibility of anybody beating him at this point. That was
Well, he's 52 pins above Deach, so I think it's 1869.
that is a 191 game logged. He saved the best for last. If we can do the math here and
Well, 78 minus 9 is 69, so 1869.
1869. And is there anybody out there who can get to 1869 realistically? I do not think so.
Stacy needs over 250.
Yeah, I think
Stacy needs 260.
I think it's Duckpin TV official result.
Yeah, we can call our winner.
Yeah, John D'Antonis
with 75% of the ballots in.
Yep. Yeah, right. Wow, man. Yeah, we got John's been taking some deep breaths. There's tournament director Marianne Kaczewski. Did a fabulous job with this. She's extending her congratulations. Look who's in the shot off to the left there, Jesse Deach. no doubt gave his congratulations to. Oh, gave his congratulations to John. John signing his scorecard and accepting the congratulations of
Steve
a couple
Cork
other
just
bowlers.
came over. We may have a
Look at that.
problem with our score. I think John has a 181 for that game. I'm
Okay,
not
we
sure
got a
where we missed 10
minor,
pins, but
minor math error on the score for that game, but
so 1859.
1859 is the final score, and it will not change the result of this tournament. John D'Antonis, 2018 88th annual Frank Barber Memorial Eastern Classic champion. We'll hang around here and keep calling some of the action because there is more bowling and more bowlers who are out there competing for one of the top positions. But it is official as it gets when we say it. Marianne Kaczewski gets to make the final official call, but I think she.
Well, it is. I mean, as far as the bowlers that we are aware of, Mark and Stacy are, I believe, both mathematically eliminated. The most Mark can go at this point is 248, and that doesn't get him there.
And there's
Stacy has a possible. They're both out, mathematically
getting
eliminated.
a shot of that scorecard.
So there you have John D'Antonis' 944, 915.
And there's might have qualified for an award on that lane. What a finish to that set. I mean, there's only two opens in that final game when he really needed to be on his game, and he couldn't have been any better.
Well, he absolutely poured it on.
Yeah.
Poured it on at the end.
He still carries his own equipment and packs his own stuff up, though. Yep,
He doesn't have a helper.
No personal assistance.
Yeah.
Like it's just going to be a parade of people coming down to congratulate John. Everybody loves John, and very deserving champion. Very, very solid, consistent. I think this might have been the game where he threw the most strikes in the entire tournament. Right?
Yeah.
He did not get himself in the position to win this thing by on his first ball with his strikes. Rather,
yeah. He's every year we do this event, and every year he's always in the picture.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see it. It's nice to see someone like that win. I mean, they come up here every year. They're friendly. They're the greatest people.
There's Kyle Shaw, manager of the center here, extending his congratulations to John. Kyle currently placed in third. Was predicting that somebody was going to go by both him and Jesse, and he was right.
And he predicted he would be in third place,
which is where he stands currently.
May actually end up there as well.
All right. That's Mark Anastasi here. Still got a lot to bowl for here. Just too many bowlers right in this range here with 10 pins separating their 12-game total. And if he could come out in front of all of them, it's, better payday, better outcome. Something to feel better about. I mean, Mark's bowled really well the whole tournament. So is his brother. They're currently in the same, in their averages through their 11th game. They're virtually identical. I'm going to try to bring you a couple more, shots here. We'll see if we can update on, a couple of bowler stats to get the final results, and we're gonna move over and start talking to some of these bowlers who have had a tremendous tournament. John not being the only one, of course. Kyle Shaw, Jesse Deach. What a year Jesse has had. I mean, second place is, an amazing accomplishment in this tournament. I'm sure he'd like to have a couple of frames back or a game even in his second block, but still, an amazing performance from him.
Yeah, I mean, at least by John putting up the 1859, it made it such that Jesse had to go 900 again. You can go 900 once in a weekend. I don't know, twice in a weekend. It's tough, but again, he averages 150, so
Sure. And John
it's not that difficult.
John just got there with that last game.
Right.
Back-to-back 900s. I mean,
Right.
he had the 950 and then just, I believe, snuck over 900 with that 181 game at the end. We've got the camera still pointed at the lanes that Stacy Kelly and Mark Anastasi are bowling on.
We're going to take a quick break here and bring you the wrap-up of the 88th annual Frank Barber Memorial Eastern Classic Championship. We'll be back to talk to some of our bowlers, specifically the bowlers that did successfully well and had a great weekend. So Duckpin TV will be right back after this message.
Become the biggest problem solver I ever know. He's just okay. I want to do that, so we're just gonna figure out how we're gonna do it. And honestly, I don't know how we figured out how to do the duck pin, but everybody tells me it's simply amazing. He just figured it out on his own.
Mulvihill needs to beat that 163 to win this match. So that means putting a strike on this. 9 pins will tie. 8 pins or less, he's eliminated. McClellan's champion.
Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Mulvihill throws another great ball on the head pin, leaves a ring and 5 pin, and we have a tie. From that short break to watch a couple more frames here, and then we'll move on to talking to the bowlers who have topped the standings for the 2018 Eastern Classic. I had a score for Matt Anastasi come in, game 12. He had a 155. We haven't gotten that into to our spreadsheets yet to figure out where that puts him on the leaderboard, but that was above the average he had carried up until that point, so he can only improve his position. Meanwhile, his brother Mark Anastasi bowling, on lanes 17 and 18, about 3 or 4 pairs down from where Matt finished his set, and Mark has an 88 in the 6th frame with a spare. The other bowler on the same pair, and who will show up on the camera soon, is Stacy Kelly. Stacy's had quite a tournament. 16-11 for 11 games, which is a 146.5 average. He has locked up the B division in this tournament. This is the second time for Stacy winning that division. And here he is on the right side of your screen, filling a spare. He's in the 5th frame, 58 plus this ball. And that's 6. 6 more for Stacy, 64 in the 5th frame. And Jim joining me in the booth here. Jim, you got to see John close up as he finished that game, and the explosive fashion. I mean, that was quite a finish, a bit unexpected. What was it like being in front of him as he got off the lane there?
Relief, I think, is what I felt. I think he was obviously happy that he won, but also relieved that kind of got a little bit of a monkey off of his back. And I don't know if the camera picked it up. I got a close-up of him, and he said, finally, Colby, talking to his son who couldn't make the trip up from Maryland, and he said, I finally didn't suck on Sunday.
Well, I don't know that we were passing the audio through. I hope we were, so
right.
Colby could have got the message. If not, you just pass it on, and Colby,
Colby
did it.
His son, great youth bowler in his own right, couldn't make it up this weekend. He was trying out for his high school baseball team, which he did make, from what John told me.
I'm sure Colby's going to be a little disappointed to miss the victory, but I guarantee you that
now that his dad won, he might have to stay home next year for the Eastern.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
a little superstition, maybe. I don't know.
No doubt about it. Colby was in John Stoss's. He was up there trying to finish this thing out.
I'm sure Colby was watching. He follows a lot of the live streams whenever we are on Facebook. So I'm sure he was watching.
Yeah, what a weekend! What a weekend John had. What a weekend a number of bowlers had. Long list of them, and a lot of them on this shift. Don Dove. I thought your prediction was wise. Knowing how good Don is when he needs to be good, and he was. He, in fact, was very, very, very good, and just couldn't seem to get the lanes to cooperate with him.
And I did talk to him after he finished this afternoon, and told him we were watching him, and the fact that he had a lot of splits there in the 11th game. Here's a replay of John's strike in the 10th. Oh no, that was early on, I believe.
Early.
That was kind of setting the tone for the 12th game. That was the strike on a spare.
Yep.
He opened the game with a spare and crushed that strike, and he was well on his way from there.
Yeah.
But Don had said the first 2 balls that I threw in that 11th game were 9 in the pit. He goes, I just couldn't strike. I just couldn't string strikes together. Those 2 balls were as good as he can throw them. And the fact that he only dropped 9, I mean, he ended up going spare, strike, but he was hoping those were going to be strikes that would kind of propel him to get onto John's heels, and it just never materialized.
There's Mark Anastasi. That was a 9 fill on a spare and another spare. Mark is, I guess, trying to, a bunch of bowlers he could kind of sneak ahead of here with a 155, 160 game, and one of them is his brother.
There's still, placement. It's there's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place awards. So there's still reason to finish out and bowl well these last games, even if you don't have a chance to win. I know I noticed down on one of the low end pairs, Steve Dreyer was exulting that he won one of the high game awards. He had finished with 170 his last game, so I think he ended up winning a high game award for that pair. So there's so many different ways to win an award here in the tournament, and so many reasons to keep bowling, even though you might be out of the open division at some point.
Yeah. I mean, and that's probably one of the reasons why year after year this event is a success. You have so many bowlers making the trip all the way up from Maryland, and giving it a shot here. This is a prestigious event to win, and it's a fun one to bowl in. A lot of opportunities to earn a prize.
Well, now we're watching Stacy Kelly, who is going to be the B Division winner here, B Division champion.
That was a nice ball. Heavy in the 1-2 pocket, though.
71 in the 6th. He had 16-11 for his first 11 games. So he would have needed 2:07. Oh wow, look, figures. Stacy fouls as he makes the split, but Stacy would have needed 2:11 just to. I'm sorry, 2:07 to bypass Jesse if that ended up being the high score, but John went well past that, went into the 1850s. So Stacy's mathematically eliminated, as is everyone else.
I don't know. My history isn't that sharp about this event in the score, at least in terms of the scores. I think 1859 is probably the highest score we've seen since Brian Stiles may have thrown.
Well, if you want to
1900.
give me 30 seconds,
Yeah, we can check.
I'll
We can
go
fact check that.
I'll go check that real quick.
Okay. Yeah, there's. We could talk about the history of this tournament with a lot of, in terms of statistics. There's an exhibit that's posted that shows the cumulative number of entrants in this tournament over its entire history. I was looking at that earlier. It's just really remarkable. There were a total of over 14,000 bowlers who have bowled in the Eastern Classic through 2017. I don't know if it might have been 14,500, and we added to it another 130 or so this year.
125, I believe.
Yeah,
was the last number I heard.
So 14,000 bowlers and counting. And Jim, you went and checked it out. How does 1859 compare to the scores we've seen in recent years?
The last 2 years, when Dan Richmond and Will Rigney won, they were in the 1830s, 1833, 1837. 2015 champion was Ron Pelletier. He had 1872. So it's the highest score we've seen since Ron's fourth win.
Stacy, I must have looked away on his last frame and missed that second ball, but he converted the.
He converted
3, 4,
the
6
split, but
for
he
a 10.
fouled.
Oh, he fouled. That's
right.
what happened.
So we caught that's the second foul we caught on the stream today.
Yeah.
Don had fouled earlier, correct?
Right. This is another kind of nice moment in the tournament, I guess, as once a winner has been declared, there's a lot of people who are probably going to try to pack up and get home. It's been a long weekend. Some of them have to drive a long way, but everybody takes a couple of moments to say, good job, goodbye, and we'll see you next time.
Congratulate the winner.
Yep.
A lot of people, as soon as John finished, came off the lane. Everyone wished him well, congratulated him.
We're going to bring in a couple of our top finishers for a few interviews as the last few bowlers are wrapping things up. And hey, I'm here with Kyle Shaw, manager of the center, and now 3 consecutive years in a row, third place finisher in the Eastern. Kyle, I mean, you had an okay night yesterday, but really tremendous day today. I mean, hunting, trying to track down Jesse, that was very exciting. I mean, what's your assessment of how things went today? I mean, we talked a little earlier. I know. You wish you had a little more luck, but what do you think of how your tournament went this year?
I was hoping for a little bit later of an interview, honestly. But no, I did throw a very good ball. The luck wasn't quite there. It was hard playing catch up, and to just not quite get that big game in there, it was tough to really put pressure on the leaders and put a good score up to begin with. But I'm happy with how I threw.
Yeah, good. I mean, how about your perspective of how the event went this year? I mean, good year for the Eastern Classic. I mean, 88th. There's a lot of other ones to compare it to, but things went well from your perspective.
Yeah, we had a couple speed bumps with the storm, had a couple entries lost, but overall, I'm very happy.
Okay, good. So, Kyle, I don't know. I mean, I just want to say thank you. You guys did such a great job. You always do a fantastic job putting on this event. I thank you for hosting Duckpin TV and putting up with everything that we put you through on a weekend like this.
And thank you guys as well.
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations. And next year, I'm looking forward to talking to you again, and maybe we'll be doing the later interview then. All right.
Yes, let's hope
Nice
so.
pulling. Take care. And while we had a word there with Kyle, Mark Anastasi continuing his performance, put another spare on the strike. He's got 4 consecutive 117 in the 8th, 127 plus in the 9th. And I'm joined in the booth now by Jesse Deach. Jesse, I mean, hard to say this is. I mean, this has been a great year, right? I mean, the last 12 months you've been bowler of the year on the DPBA tour. You logged another win, and highest average in the country, and then a second place at the Eastern, the 88th Eastern. I mean, what a year! Give us your thoughts.
Just a disappointing finish today. That's really the only thought I can have. Like you said, it's been a great year. I really came into expecting to win this weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. John bowled great. It takes 2 great shifts to win this tournament. I kind of fell on my face today, but, can't complain about second place, I guess, right?
Sure. I mean, second's a phenomenal finish, and then don't cut yourself short here, right? You didn't have a bad shift. It was just maybe a game or something off. I mean, 11 fantastic games, 1 game that was just a little tough, or maybe 2 games that were a little tough. I mean, what the difference is between winning and losing, and it can be not a lot, but fantastic performance and fantastic year. Were you were here watching John wrap things up? I mean,
Absolutely, yeah. He needed 140 the last game, to cap it off. I saw that. I was definitely standing behind him, watching, crossing my fingers. But he's a phenomenal bowler, and he bowled great today. And my hat goes off to him.
yeah. Well, look, I mean, this is not your first time. I mean, is this your second in this event, or?
No. This is my first second. My 4th year competing in the tournament. I finished 3rd my first year.
3rd. Okay. Yeah, we were trying to debate and remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We do remember you having a good bowling on the first weekend, and not ending up winning it, but we just weren't sure where you ended up finishing.
Yeah.
But look, a 2nd and a 3rd in this event, and actually in the other order, right? You went 3rd then 2nd.
Correct.
Now we know what's going to come next, right?
We can only hope, right? Yeah. Definitely want to put this on my resume one day.
Okay. Well, congratulations! Phenomenal year, phenomenal tournament. I mean, we'll be looking for you next year in the 89th, and good luck then, and good luck for the next year of bowling. It's really fun watching you out here, man.
Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate it. I'm looking for the Pro Tour stop here next month. It should be a lot of fun.
Right. All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And tournament really starting to wind down here. Last couple of frames being thrown. That's Stacy Kelly. Mark Anastasi really finished strong to this last game, and Mark's 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then a 10 frame on a 10 box on the end. He got a 165 for a 1770 by my math, which is 1 pin behind the leader in the for the first weekend, Kevin Martin. But that puts Mark Anastasi in 5th place. So Stacy Kelly throwing his last frame. He went through the middle on his first ball. Stacy having a, and difficult, maybe probably his low game of the tournament. Amazing weekend for him, and maybe going to drop a little bit on our main leaderboard on the Open Division, but first place on in the B Division for the second time. That's a 110 for Stacy, 17-21. Tremendous bowling out of Stacy. Last couple of balls being thrown out there. And with that, we will, I think we've got all our scores in. We're going to do a recap here really quick of the final standings. C Division winner was claimed, ended up being very close. It was Matt Gano, first-time Eastern Classic bowler, average 133.7. Congratulations to Matt. And then, as we just said, Stacy Kelly claimed the title for the B Division for the second time. Stacy then also placed in 12th in the Open Division, followed by Eric Lateska. I hung in there for an 11th place finish. That's Matt Anastasi in 10th, Andy Fierlet, Eric Pellet, Don Dove up to 7th, Will Rigney, Mark Anastasi, and Kevin Martin. And then our top three. We just spoke with Kyle Shaw. Congratulations to him. Jesse Deach, and then of course we've got our champion, who we're going to have a word with here in just a moment, John D'Antonis. John's going to join me in the booth here, and I'm not the first to congratulate you, but congratulations. That's what a tournament, what a finish to that. I mean, that very exciting last game. So we kept some clips. We stored some clips of you, bowling, and probably some good ones of the last game here. We'll just roll them and let you take a look. Here's you in the second frame of that last game. This was a big moment. A great ball.
Ooh, I actually threw a strike there.
Yeah.
Very far and few in between.
So at that point, you needed 140, right? So we know we're trying to add them up and fill the marks. Here's another ball.
Right here, I'm thinking, all right, two marks out the gate. Need about 3 more just to get over the number, but you never know who could sneak up on you. There's a lot of quality bowlers out there capable of shooting a big game, 200, 210. So I just wanted to get as much as I could. Let's see where it ended.
This is pretty much had it in the bag at that point. You threw the strike for 141. You had gotten past Jesse by a pin at that point before you put 3 more on it. Still a couple more balls to go. But here you are in that back door, which a little lucky there. But
that was, my best bud, Walt Brooks, called. Now that you're over it, you'll probably throw a triple in the 10th. And sure enough, he made the correct call.
That might be the same one again there. Oh, no.
No,
We just hadn't gotten your score.
Double.
That was the...
I actually threw 2 good balls behind it.
Yep.
I guess because they were easy. Up 100, down 100.
Right.
They all become easy.
There's that last one.
It had to be a spare in the 9th, though.
Yeah, we had an error in your scoring as we were keeping track of it.
Right.
But it was a spare, and then you finish it with a triple.
Right.
And here you are coming off the lane.
There's good old Ron, 4-time winner.
4-timer, yeah. So what's going through your mind in that moment there? You're stepping off the lane.
Finally got over the hump. I've been second once or twice, couple thirds. Felt good to finally break through and get the win.
Yeah, we were, as this was going on here, we were just reflecting on, all that you've accomplished. DPBA Bowler of the Year, highest average in the country. There's really not much left out there that you haven't accomplished, that you haven't done, right? So what's next? I mean, if for somebody who's accomplished so much, what's the next goal?
Just keep trying, go out on the tour, win some stars, just bowl well. It's always enjoyable to go out and compete. These tough guys on this tour, tough guys in this actual tournament, and they just you got to fight and claw, scratch, just to get to the top. It feels good when you get there, but each weekend it's a different beast. I mean, there's a lot of good bowlers. Jesse's on an incredible run. He's throwing the ball unbelievable. Just seems like every weekend he's, averaging 50, 60. Makes it look easy, these young guys. I'm starting to get older.
Yeah, well, you're still competing, obviously. What a tournament this was. I mean, we did. I don't know whether our audio picked it up. We know that you said something to Colby, but just in case you didn't, you want to look at the camera and say something to Colby?
Yeah, I just said Colby finally broke through. I didn't suck on Sunday, and I actually came through with a W. Wish you were here, but I know you were home. You had important things to do. Tryouts for baseball and at high school, and I heard it went well. So I'm really proud of you in that, too. Thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of years before we're talking about him out here, right?
Absolutely. He's ready to come out now. I said, now you got to wait a little bit longer. You got plenty of years ahead of you. Enjoy it now. Have fun with, your friends and stuff, and just keep working on the craft and get better as you age.
Yeah, he's got a good role model, and, all I can say is congratulations. I mean, what a tournament. What a 6-game stretch. What a last game to make sure that you finish it off. I mean, congratulations. What a performance, and we're looking forward to seeing you again next year to try to defend the title.
I really appreciate all your work you guys put out. I mean, not just me, not just Colby, but everybody down in Maryland who can't make it. Gives them something to watch. Hopefully they enjoyed it, and keep working on it.
Great. All right. So here, we'll take that. Thank you, John. And for us, that's going to be a wrap. 2018 88th Annual Eastern Classic. Thank you to Lucky Strike Lanes. Thank you to Marianne Kaczewski, the director of the tournament. Thank you to the Duckman TV crew, Jim Kaufman, Brian Ewing, Steve Korek here today. A lot of other folks who helped us, Pat Rufo, of course. And we're looking forward to the next event. We have to sign off by saying thank you so much to everybody who donated to our fundraising campaign. We hope that the quality of what we're doing here is noticeably different. We were able to make a lot of new acquisitions, and we hope the benefits are paying off. So, with that, we'll sign off, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.